Okay, with that, we bring in former governor of South Carolina, Nikki Haley, Republican presidential candidate, and former UN ambassador, as I mentioned. Governor, good to have you here today. What do you say to those voters?
Thanks so much, Martha.
Thank you. What do you say to those voters that you just heard?
You know, what I'll say is, first of all, I'm a Republican. This isn't about me. This is more about the health of the Republican Party. This is about the health of our country. And what I'm trying to do is show that there is a hole in our boat. And if you look at Donald Trump from any of the polls in early states, he did not get 40% in any of the early states. It is very hard to win a general election if you can't do that. The second thing is, it's not just about the fact that he has an electability issue. That's a big component. But also, you're watching him change the Republican Party policies. Under his watch, we went $8 of our $34 trillion in debt in 4 years under him, more than any other president. He said nothing about fiscal responsibility. He said nothing about cutting spending. He said nothing about reducing the size of government. He's taken that completely off the table, and we see Republicans and Democrats wasting money. The second thing is, we've always believed in peace through strength. And for the first time, we see him retreating from our ally, Ukraine, and going into the hands of Putin. And look, America should never be so arrogant to think we don't need friends. After 9/11, we needed a lot of friends. And to have this retreat and say that we're just going to sit in our bubble, that's a way that's going to get America more into war. Putin's made it very clear.
Right.
Once he's done with Ukraine, Poland and the Baltics are next. That's a big deal. But the third thing, Martha, is look at what's happening to the party. The RNC now, before the primary's over, he's going in, he's booted out the chair. He's putting in his daughter-in-law. He's putting in his campaign chair as an operative. But more than that, he's pushing to have the RNC be just about him. So it's not going to be House and Senate anymore. And it's all turning into his legal slush fund. That is not what we're supposed to see in our Republican Party. This is a ship that has a hole in it. It is going to sink. We are going to lose in November and go towards the socialist path if we don't right this ship. And that's really what I'm trying to get out to Republicans and Americans.
So all of those things that you just mentioned, for many years were basic, fundamental Republican conservative principles. And you say that you are staying in this. You want people to have a choice, and you want people to care about these issues that you have brought up. Now, if those people who care about that are 38 to 40% of your party, as we've seen in the first several races here in 4 states that have happened. And if that continues to hold true, we don't know yet, over Super Tuesday, that's what the polling certainly indicates at this point, would you say, well, you know, I didn't leave the party left me, and there's another route here in the middle, and I think I can galvanize some power there?
I mean, my focus is it's not about me. Again, my focus is this is a big red flag to our Republican Party that is saying we have lost our way. You look at Michigan, Martha. I'm in Michigan now. In 2012, they were a beacon. They were winning everything. They had just passed right to work. They were doing great things. Now you look, since 2016, when Trump came in, they've lost the governor's mansion, they've lost the state house, they've lost the state senate. They now have a divided Republican Party, 2 different factions. That's happening all over the country. We've got a Republican Party split, and that comes when you've got a candidate who says that his opponent's supporters are barred permanently from MAGA. And you make it about this label, and you don't make it about bringing more people into the party. That is an equation to lose a general election. This is supposed to be a big tent where we want more people to come in. He is pushing people out of our party. He's not winning independents.
Yeah. I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I think that, you know, obviously your supporters would agree with that. But the momentum appears to be very much on his side in Michigan, where the voting is tomorrow. We'll see what happens tomorrow night. So, you know, it seems that there are 2 avenues, or maybe one other avenue. But one avenue is potentially another run. And, you know, you would, if it was No Labels, which we know has said they're interested in talking to you, that's a Republican and a Democrat on the same ticket. The other lane is to say, I'm here just in case the Trump train implodes, and you hope that you'll be the alternative to that. So which way do you think it's going right now?
Well, I'm sitting here focused on Super Tuesday states. That's what I'm going to do. I'm a Republican. I have not talked to any other organization. I have not put a second of thought into an independent run because I'm a Republican. That's what I've always been. I've been a conservative Republican my whole life. I'm not going to switch over and have a Democrat vice president. That's not something I would do. My heart has always been with the Republican Party in this country. So that's what I'm going to do. If people don't look at what is happening, Donald Trump can't win a general election. The RNC is broke. He has spent $60 million of his own campaign contributions on legal fees. Now he's going to start draining it out of the RNC. How in the world do you defeat a Democrat, which, by the way, won't be Joe Biden? It's going to be a younger Democrat. How in the world is that going to happen? He can't win a general election by all these scenarios. So we can ignore the hole in the ship all we want. But don't complain about what happens in a general election if we don't do right in this primary. And that's what I'm trying to do, is give the 70% of Americans who say they don't want Donald Trump or Joe Biden a voice. I'm trying to give the 40% of Republicans who are saying we don't want to vote for Donald Trump. I'm trying to give them a voice. We've got to open up. We can't just keep going in this direction. And that's why we're going to keep on running through the Super Tuesday states.
Real quick before I let you go, I mean, every other candidate wanted to have the backing of Koch, the Koch brothers. They have now said they're going to stand down at this point. How does that change your dynamic? Real quick, if you can, Governor.
It doesn't change our dynamic. They weren't helping us from a monetary standpoint. They were door knockers and phone callers.
They weren't giving, you didn't get any money from them?
No money from them, no. It was never a financial backing. It was just them doing door knocking and phone calling and sending out some mail. So we are financially strong without them. But they're a great organization. They believe in freedom. They believe in limited government. I appreciate them standing with us. But we're moving hard. We've got national ads out there now. We've got ads running in Michigan. We're going to keep on fighting the whole step of the way.
All right. Well, we will be watching the whole step of the way as well as we head toward Michigan tomorrow and Super Tuesday on March the 5th. Ambassador, Governor Nikki Haley, good to have you with us today. Thank you very much.
Go to NikkiHaley.com.
All right, thanks to her for stopping by today in the middle of the campaign chaos that is out there.